Coming up, Tzu Chi volunteers in China visit their care recipients in Jiangsu's Siyang ahead of the upcoming winter aid distribution. And we find out how the rain levels and droughts in Taiwan are affected by global warming. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Mary Lee. Thank you for joining us. In preparation of the upcoming winter aid distribution from November 21st to the 22nd, Tzu Chi volunteers from Shanghai, Suzhou, Kunshan, Nanjing, and Hangzhou visited solitary seniors in Siyang of Jiangsu province. The first winter relief distribution in Siyang was held in 2005. When the volunteers went again this year, they were recognized by 80-year-old senior Gao Caixia. She excitedly took everyone to her house and showed them the distribution notice she had been cherishing.
73-years-old Zhang Fengchao wears the winter clothes from Tzu Chi and still remembers the fragrance of rice from long ago.
The rice tasted so good. It was very clean, and we didn't need to pick out any rock. It smelled very good.
Tzu Chi volunteers are visiting solitary seniors in Siyang. Some elderly received Tzu Chi's aid only last year, while for some it has been a decade. Even though their winter's coats have faded in color and have patches, they still cherish them dearly. A blessing song reminded Gao Caixia of the past. She says she still keeps an envelope and suddenly hugs the volunteers tightly, like a child afraid that they will disappear from her life.
Indeed, it's been 10 years. I haven't seen this distribution notice before.
The 80-year-old still keeps the distribution notice she received from Tzu Chi in 2005 in good condition in a drawer. It reminds her of the distribution, her dead husband, and also Tzu Chi.
就是这位我们的老师让我们来看你们，是这位老师让我们来看你们，对，你看他要抱得上，他抱得上，拍下来吗？奶奶继续留着，收了10年了，很棒，很棒。我永远感恩你，永远感恩，我们也感谢你，我们也感谢你，感恩你个，感恩这个老师啊，感谢老师，对。
Staying in China, there is a Chinese saying, an elderly at home is like a family treasure. Tzu Chi volunteers in Beijing not just cherish the elderly in their families, they also go out looking for treasure. They have been visiting 2 local nursing homes to bring happiness to residents there.
The volunteers have not visited these elderly for a while.
Grandma, I always think about you as our hearts are connected.
Beijing's Tzu Chi volunteers are visiting the Xu Xinzhuang nursing home once again. At least 2 volunteers form a team to cut Grandma's hair. One cuts her hair while the other cheers her up.
Seeing these elderly remind us of ourselves. We must be understanding. When we become old and have to live here, we also hope young people or people from outside worlds would come share their love.
Over at the Guan'an Park nursing home, Tzu Chi volunteers are giving the elderly a test.
这个月我们有一个什么考试来着？拍手。拍手。我们要说什么来着？四神汤。四神汤是什么？知足。感恩。善待包容。
To calm the elderly down, the volunteers perform a piece of opera.
They are happy, and so am I. We must come more often to keep them company.
Because Tzu Chi volunteers sing and dance with the residents in the nursing home. The nursing home has become warm in the winter.
In the United States, the Los Angeles Tzu Chi Academy is open 32 weeks a year, and the students spend up to 10 weeks preparing for a speech competition between Chinese schools in Southern California. After months of diligent practices, many students recently participated in a competition with high expectations of themselves. Meanwhile, for many of the parents, learning to work as a team is in itself a rewarding experience for their children.
团体朗诵是我最喜欢的项目，因为
I like the group recitation the most because kids of all ages are brought together. They not only learn Chinese, but also know how to work in a group. I can see the team spirits in the older kids because they help the younger ones. In the beginning, the younger kids are timid, but once the older kids started playing with them, it became easier for them to work together.
We started out from learning how to memorize the poem and how to express the poem and also learn the poem and learn to love the poems. There's one is ancient poem, one is a modern poem. Learning the poem itself is a great experience. And being able to represent their school and also to try to do their best and hopefully win a trophy today, that's even more exciting.
每一个星期六
We practice every Saturday and Sunday afternoon. The kids are really looking forward to it, actually.
一共连昨天
We practiced 17 times yesterday, and they asked for it. They didn't think they did well enough, so they wanted to practice more.
每次坐在台上
I'm so nervous every time I watch them compete because we've worked so hard, and today we'll get the result.
5号请上台。
青青河畔草，绵绵思远道。长江各一线，辗转不相见。寻梦，寻梦，寻梦，春一支长刀，夏青草更青处，漫树。
刚刚表现
Watching their performance today, I was more nervous than watching my own kids perform because I care about the kids.
其实我的心都在蹦蹦跳哎，糟糕了，我也好紧张呐。第3名，洛杉矶慈济人文学校，恭喜恭喜我们慈济人文学校，来请出列，来我们的小朋友请到中间来，请到中间来，请到中间。
On the group, we got 3rd place. And that was one of the reasons why I was crying earlier. Why? Because we got 3rd place and we were expecting for 1st place.
Basically, I learned today is that you can't always be 1st place and always be the best. Sometimes you have to lose. I feel like in the past 3 years, I learned to be cooperative with a group. I just hope next time we get 1st place by practicing more and paying attention more.
他们表现在我
Their performance is always a plus in my heart.
悄悄地我走了，正如我悄悄地来，我挥一挥衣袖，不带走一片云彩。谢谢大家。
In order to meet the high demands for nurses in Taiwan, the Ministry of Education rolled out an initiative this year aimed at 5-year junior college nursing students, where they can advance onto a 2-year technical institute to receive a college degree. This new program also gives the students much more practical training than normal university students and provides them with an allowance for their internship as well. Currently, Tzu Chi University of Science and Technology is the only school in eastern Taiwan to have received the approval from the ministry to host this new initiative. This year, the Ministry of Education rolled out a Nursing 5+2 Industrial Education Collaboration Initiative, where a junior high graduate with a 5-year junior college nursing degree can enroll in a 2-year technical institute for a college degree, which includes internship and career placement. TCAS, which provides both a 5-year and a 2-year degree, is the only school in eastern Taiwan to provide this new program.
When choosing applicants from our 5-year junior college program, we will select those who are highly motivated and have proven themselves to participate in the new program.
This program's classes are more flexible as students have to intern at the hospital 3 days a week and must complete 1,728 work hours in order to graduate, which is 5 times that of a normal nursing program. Besides the extra experience, their work hours can also count towards their seniority at the workplace.
With more clinical experience, upon entering a workplace, we won't be as scared when told what to do.
The students are also compensated during their internship. Upon graduation, they are contracted to work at a participating hospital for 1 year. The extra job security is the reason the indigenous Guojue chose this program.
During the internship, I can receive pay. This is similar to working part-time while studying. After I graduate, I can work at the Tzu Chi hospital and won't have to worry about getting a job.
This new program also seeks to raise educational standards, as well as solve the problem of nurse shortage in Taiwan.
If these nursing students can all enter the medical field upon graduation, then Taiwan's lack of nurses can be solved with this initiative.
Getting to know the nursing field before graduation increases these students' chance of an employment. The new industrial educational collaboration looks to cultivate more manpower to help Taiwan's demanding medical field. As we have explained in our reports yesterday, plasticizers are everywhere in our lives. The only way to protect ourselves is learn to minimize the use of products containing plasticizers. Now, to many people's surprise, shower gels and facial cleansers actually contain plasticizers as well. As it turns out, the so-called microbeads in these products that help exfoliate our skin are actually made of plastic. We now show you the threat posed by these microplastics.
I want to exfoliate, so I have chosen a microbead cleanser.
Do consumers know what makes up these microbeads?
特例是什么成分？
我不知道哎。
你知道如果是告诉你那是塑胶，你还会选购吗？
不会。
The so-called microbeads, often found in facial cleansers, are actually made from plastic. Here is a simple test.
We will filter out the microbeads in this cleanser.
After squeezing out the entire content into a flask, water is then added to make sure everything is properly dissolved.
We will just use a simple coffee filter bag and pour the dissolved solution through it. See, all these grains that remain on the filter are actually microplastics.
The microbeads are 150 to 1,000 micrometers in size, which is about twice to 12 times the diameter of a human hair.
Sometimes the beads end up in my eyes, which gets very uncomfortable.
There have been many cases of conjunctivitis in Taiwan caused by microbeads entering the eyes.
When the beads get into our eyes and nose, they might just stay there and begin to disintegrate. So our body will then absorb the plasticizer in them.
The amount of microbeads in a bottle of facial cleanser can be quite shocking.
Actually, about 1/4 of the weight of the bottle is made up of microbeads.
The Taiwan Watch Institute has surveyed 210 types of facial cleansers and shower gels and discovered that 90 of them contains microbeads. In the United States, it is said that 1,200 tons of microbeads end up in the wastewater processing plant every year. Though such an investigation has not been done in Taiwan, the problem can only be worse here.
Taiwan's wastewater processing plants absolutely have no capacity to handle these microbeads. microbeads enter the sewage, they might end up being eaten by small fish, which get eaten by big fish, eventually entering the human food chain and our stomach.
The microplastics are causing havoc on the Earth's ecosystem, and thus, recently, several Western countries have begun regulating how they are to be used. In the US, they are banned in 8 states, while they are completely banned in Canada. However, such products are actually gaining popularity here in Taiwan.
If we won't allow people to discard their plastic bags, then how can we allow people to discard microplastics right into our ocean? The government should act now.
Without waiting for the government to act, several manufacturers are already taking actions on their own by coming up with an all-natural substitute. By binding inorganic salts such as silicates and mica with corn powder and cellulose, natural beads are made.
These are microplastics, while these are natural beads. The two feel about the same, but appear very differently under the microscope.
Through a simple experiment, the difference between the two is shown. After rubbing with water for 1 minute, the microbeads remain while the natural beads have dissolved completely already.
The natural beads are made with natural minerals, so they are just being returned to the environment.
Currently, products containing microbeads occupy over 60% of the market in Taiwan. To help consumers shop safely, they can download the app, Beat the Microbead, onto their smart devices.
The app will scan the barcode of the product and then tell you whether or not it contains microbeads.
Of all the microbead products in Taiwan, 30% are manufactured domestically. This means while the Western countries have banned these products, they are selling them abroad.
There are many published research reports that show that microbeads are a threat.
Just what is the price of beauty? Is it worth sacrificing our environment? By continuing to use microbead products, we are only endangering ourselves and future generations. All across the world, extreme weather events are becoming more and more frequent and severe as a result of global warming. Apart from the poor air quality, Taiwan has been battling its worst drought in decades, following the lowest rainfall in nearly 70 years. But on the other hand, when Taiwan experiences heavy rainfall, it often triggers serious flooding in several parts of the country. What do these extreme weather patterns mean for Taiwan? Let's find out more.
Here in Taiwan, agriculture accounts for 70% of total water consumption in the country. However, as the country battles its worst drought in decades, many farmers have been forced to let their land lie fallow.
Taiwan's drought is caused by insufficient light to moderate rainfall. Rainfall of a light to moderate intensity is the best for crop growth. It also helps to retain moisture within the soil.
According to international standards, light rain is characterized by less than 1 millimeter of rainfall within 24 hours, whereas more than 200 millimeter of precipitation constitutes extreme heavy rain. The frequent occurrence of these sudden downpours in Taiwan often catch people off guard and also trigger severe flooding in many parts of the country.
As the global temperature rises, more water evaporates and becomes vapor. And as water vapor increases, it will lead to increased convection. As the warm air rises, cooler air drops and replaces the warm air.
Extreme weather patterns such as drought, heat waves, and flooding are all a result of global warming. If the global temperature continues to rise, Taiwan will experience more and more of these anomalies in the near future.
Countries all over the world are working actively to curb global warming.
For every 1 degree Celsius increase in global temperature, we will experience 10% heavier rainfall extremes.
Taiwan's Central Weather Bureau has forecasted that the country will continue to experience stronger, heavier rainfall if global temperature continues to rise. We'll also experience longer dry spells and shorter monsoon seasons.
If rainfall is concentrated to a fewer months of the year and water levels in our reservoirs remain below capacity due to the longer dry spells, we will continue to experience water shortages in Taiwan. This is really a cause for concern.
Flood control and drought prevention measures in Taiwan only factor in past occurrences. It does not take into consideration the impact of global warming and the effects thereof.
As we begin to witness the detrimental impacts of global warming, Taiwan citizens need to come together and take prompt action before we hit a tipping point.
After meeting with her disciples in Jiayi and Yunlin, Master Zhen Yan arrived at Tainan, where she certified volunteers during a year-end blessing ceremony. Local Tzu Chi volunteers then seized the occasion to share how they inspire residents to join their ranks.
The Master said it is better to change ourselves than to try to change others. So even when my husband acted irrationally, I still apologized.
Hu Chun'e began following the Master's teachings since joining Tzu Chi and became gentle and mindful in her speech. She then inspired her husband to join her in practicing recycling.
We can dedicate ourselves to Tzu Chi's work for some 20 years. I will make the most of this opportunity.
The Chans, who are the first Tzu Chi volunteers in Beimen district of Tainan, inspire many other volunteers to join their efforts.
现在过了50年这个时间呢，咱看到全球自济人伫因的国家、伫因的交基地是安尼做甲遐认真啊，做甲呢，会当一粒种子啦，会当产生呢无量数。
The Master also hopes that, after 50 years of hard work, Tzu Chi volunteers will continue to work collectively so to spread the spirit of great love to different corners of the world. Earlier in the day, another Tzu Chi volunteer, Yan Shengxian, talked about how he drives along the mountain roads to bring the residents to Yujing DaAi community to listen to morning broadcasts of Wisdom at Dawn.
The Master taught us to practice stabilizing our minds and endure like the earth. The Master told us to listen to sermons and take the teachings to heart. Besides enduring, we also have to inspire others. So we worked even harder to carry out Tzu Chi's work.
Through listening to sermons and joining study sessions, the residents have come to understand Tzu Chi's spirit of great love and realize the truth behind the controversy surrounding Tzu Chi.
为着要救人，咱拢会当吞忍，就是因为吞忍这种至诚，咱付出是无所求啊。咱付出呢，就是要尽咱一份最诚意的大爱。
The Master finds solace in seeing the volunteers uphold their initial vows to serve in spite of the controversy surrounding Tzu Chi. She hopes they will continue to work in harmony to spread seeds of love.
At the end of the program, we joined over 60 volunteers, including Tzu Qings from National Taipei University of Technology, on a beach cleanup in New Taipei City's Shimen Kites Park. In total, the group of volunteers cleared away some 20 bags of garbage. We will leave you with these images. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.